Good afternoon and welcome to Stitches in Time Crochet with JoJo. So today I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to do this beautiful star stitch. The star stitch is it makes for a beautiful baby's blanket, a beautiful scarf, a beautiful hat, whatever you want to make for it. It's nice and heavy. Now this I'm making for a prayer shawl. I belong to a prayer shawl group at my church, so I make prayer shawls and baby blankets for the church, and this is what I'm using this stitch for. And hopefully it will bring whoever gets this prayer shawl comfort, and healing. But both sides do not look the same. The first side looks like the star stitch, the second does not. The other side does not. That's the beauty of this stitch. It's a very easy stitch. If you can single crochet, you can do this stitch. So today what we're going to do is we're going to create our own little constellation in our project. And I like to call it the Milky Way stitch because we'll be creating our own little cosmic masterpiece. I'm sorry, I couldn't get the words out right. So what you want to do is go ahead and grab your hook, grab your needle, or grab your hook and any yarn that you have, and we'll get started with the tutorial then. So this actually, with the star stitch, actually is a multiple of 2. So I'm just going to chain 20. Okay, so there we are. So the very first thing you're going to do, like I said, if you can single crochet, you can do this. We're just going to go ahead and do our single crochet. So we're going to single crochet in the very first chain from the hook. So we're just going to do that all the way across, single crocheting. This is going to be whatever project or whatever stitch you use this for, it's going to turn out beautiful. I've seen hats made with it, with a star stitch. It's just so lovely and so pretty. Now I'm using, this is just an old ball yarn of Red Heart, and it's that sparkly yarn that I'm using here just for to demonstrate. I thought how nice it would be to demonstrate the star stitch. I don't have very much of this yarn left, but I made a lot of shawls and everything with this yarn, and I really do love it. It has just a little bit of sparkle to it. And then I'm using a 5.5 O hook is what I'm using. So all right, I have a few more stitches to do, and I'll meet you at the... Now that we got all our single stitches, we're going to turn our work, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'll go very slow on this part, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So in order to make your star, all we're going to do is pull up loops, and you're going to have 6 loops on your hook before you pull them all through, and I will show you how to do that. So the very first chain from the hook right here, and here's your very first chain right there, we're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop. We're going to go to the second chain, which is right next to it right here, and we're going to go in and pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Now we're going to go right down here, right here, in this first chain here. You can see it with the first chain. We're going to insert hook, pull up a loop. We're going to go to the next chain right here, insert hook, pull up a loop. You have 5 loops on your hook. And we're going to go over to the next chain, insert, pull up a loop. Now you have 6 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull through all of those loops. Now we're going to chain 1 to lock that in. And right there is your first star. Do you see it? Right there. We're going to continue this all the way to the end. So what we're going to do next to make the second star is we're going to take your hook, insert it into that eye. See that eye right there, right here? We're going to insert that and we're going to pull up a loop. Now we're going to go down here. There's all these little star arms here, but what we're going to do is we're going to go through this in between these two arms here. So you're going to insert your hook through that arm, pull up a loop. You got 3. This chain right here, I call it the foot of the star. This big opening here, you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop. Now we're going to create the other 2 arms to the star, and we're going to go into the next chain, pull up a loop, and the second chain, pull up a loop. There you have 6 loops on your hook, yarn over, and we're going to pull through all 6 loops. We're going to chain 1 to lock that in. There's your second star, right there. Now we're going to take your hook, and we're going to repeat this, and we're going to put it through the eye of the star, pull up a loop. And we're going to go down here in between those 2 loops, and we're going to pick up in between the 2 arms, pick up a loop, go down to the foot of the arm, pick up a loop. Now we're going to create. Next chain, pick up a loop, next chain, pick up a loop. Those 2 chains are your creation chains, and they're creating 2 other arms to your star. You're going to yarn over, pull through all 6 loops, and chain 1 to lock that in. There's 3 stars. And do that again. So what are we going to do? We're going to take your hook, put it into the eye of the star, pull up a loop. We're going to go down to the arm. We're going to put it in between the arm there, and we're going to pull up a loop. We're going to go down to the foot of the star, pull up a loop, and we're going to create. Pull up a loop, and the next one, pull up a loop. And we're going to yarn over and pull through 6 and chain 1. And we're going to do that all the way to the end. We'll do it again. And through the arm, underneath, in between the arm there. I'm going to go to the foot. And we're going to create. And we're going to create. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 6 and lock that in. And we're going to continue to do that all the way to the end. And I'll meet you out the end. All right, now that we're at the end, almost to the end, you see you have a few stitches here. We're going to go ahead and insert the hook into the eye. Okay, sorry, a little bit tough here. Eye, in between the arms, right here, between the arms. There's the foot. Now we're going to create, and then we're going to create here at this very last stitch here, right here. Create. And then we're just going to, you have 6 loops, yarn over, pull them all through, chain 1 to lock, and then we're going to do a double crochet into that stitch that we just came out of. So we're going to do 1 double crochet. Or actually a half double crochet, sorry guys. We're going to do a half double crochet in that last chain space and a half double. All right, now if you notice it's a little bit slant, that's normal. Okay, that's going to be normal. So the more that you do this, the more it's going to straighten out. And plus too, at the very end, if you want to block it, blocking is just putting it on a board, wetting it down, putting it on a board, and that will stretch that out too. So now we're going to turn, okay, and we're going to do 1 single crochet. Now, right here, we're going to put a single crochet into this first chain space. And we're going to single crochet there. Now the eye, this is the only time that you're going to put 1 single crochet into the eye, okay, is here at the very end. So, or at the beginning. So we're going to put 1 single crochet into this eye right here. So we're going to single crochet. And what this is going to do, it's going to go ahead and lock the stars in. So it's going to make the full-bodied star. Now we're going to do 2. We're going to go in and finish up with 2 single crochets into each eye. So we're going to do a single crochet into this eye and another single crochet into that eye, same eye. We're going to move over to the next eye and we're going to single crochet. And we're going to do another single crochet into that same eye. We're going to move over to the next one. 2 single crochets into that eye. And we're going to move over to the next one. 2 single crochets into that eye. Next eye. 2 single crochets. And the next eye is right here. 2 single crochets. And then the next eye is going to be right here. 2 single crochets. And then we're going to put a single crochet into this chain 3. And that was at the beginning. And 1 single crochet into that. And this is what the back is looking like. And that's what the front is looking like. There's your stars. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's your stars right there. Let's do 1 more or 2 more rows. Okay. Chain 3. And then you're going to pull up a loop in the very first chain. So we're going to go over to this chain here, pull up a loop. Go down to the next chain right beside it, pull up a loop. Now we're going to go right here into this chain space, pull up a loop. The next chain space, pull up a loop. And the next chain space, pull up a loop. There's your 6 chains on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 6, and chain 1. And there's your first star. And I could have pulled that a little bit tighter there to make it a little bit taut. So sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. Now we're going to go into the eye, pull up a loop, in between the arms. Here we go. Pull up a loop into the foot, pull up a loop, and then we're going to create, pull up a loop and create, pull up a loop, and pull through all 6 loops and chain 1. Here's your next star. Okay, hook into the eye, pull up a loop. We're going to go in between the arms here, pull up a loop. We're going to go to the foot of the star, insert, pull up a loop, and then we're going to create with the next 2 chains. We're going to create the other star arms. Yarn over, pull through all 6, and chain 1. And we're going to continue to do this at the very end. Okay, 1 more. Through the eye, pull up a loop. In between the arm, pull up a loop. At the foot, pull up a loop. And create 1 and 2. You have 6 loops on your hook. Pull through all 6 and chain 1. So we're going to do this to the very end, and once I get to the very end, I'll show you again how we're going to end that, okay? All right, here we are at the end. So we're just going to put hook into the loop, pull up a loop in between the arms, pull up a loop into the foot, pull up a loop into create, pull up a loop, and create, pull up a loop, and then we're going to pull through all 6 loops, yarn over, pull through all 6, lock that in by chaining 1, and then we're going to double crochet. We're going to put a half double crochet into that same last stitch. Half double. And there you have it. We're going to turn our work. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to put a single crochet into that chain space. And then we're going to put 1 single crochet into that eye. It's right here. See the eye right there? Right there? It's hard to see sometimes. You really have to pull your work in order to see that eye. But you're going to put 1 single crochet into that eye. And then all the other eyes, we're going to put 2 single crochets. So we're going to go over here to the next eye, which is right here. 2 single crochets. The next eye is right here. 2 single crochets. And the next eye, 2 single crochets. Next eye, 2 single crochets. And the next eye, 2 single crochets. And you do this all the way until you get to the very end. Here's another eye, right here, 2 single crochets. And then, of course, the last eye, which is hard to see, it's going to be right here, 2 single crochets. And then we're going to put a single crochet into that chain space, which I could have made a little bit tighter. But I did not for some reason. It was a little bit loose on my hook, but we're going to put a single crochet right in there. But this is just a tutorial. So hold on 1 second here. And we're going to single crochet. And there you have it. There's the back and there's the front. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. There'll be more tutorials coming. Actually, I'll be making another video here soon. I want to get you updated on my prayer shawl and then the baby blankets that I'm making. So those I want to show you too. I'm also knitting a project, but I'm not sure how long I'm going to be knitting. I sort of like crocheting better than knitting, but I do like my knitting. So I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope whatever you make with the star stitch, I really hope that you enjoy that too. So I love working with this stitch, and enjoy making your cosmic Milky Way blanket. Till next time.